What is going on, Aries? Welcome back to the channel, Elevated Spirits. It's Jazi, your favorite Cali reader. This is going to be your new moon solar eclipse message. Okay, so I hope y'all are doing well. Thank you for those of you that have stuck around, as I've had to give myself a few days to honor the cycles of my body. Thank you so much. If you're still here with me, checking in, tapping in with me as I'm tapping in with you in these energies for this solar eclipse. Okay, so happy New Year, true New Year to those of you. If you know, you know. Happy true New Year. Happy birthday, happy solar return to my Aries. Okay, for those of you that are celebrating, happy solar return. All right, happy birthday. So light some sage here real fast. Love lighting it up. That fiery energy like y'all, right? Yes. All right, hope y'all are doing well. Okay, so this reading is going to be in particular in regards to our fears. Okay. And the reason being is because why I was guided to do this reading is just something I'm explaining to everyone as I go. This reading is important because all the fear mongering that I've been seeing, and it's not to say to not prepare, do your best to prepare for what may or may not happen. You know, I'm kind of one of those people personally that I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it type of energy. You know, I'd rather, you know, do my best to prepare to a degree, but, you know, not overdo it by way of manifesting something that we don't want, right? And so it feels like, get my fan going, because that sage is going to start, you know, just getting all out of control. So anyway, the fears, right? We're being asked to look at our fears at this time, the things that you know, we've been deemed to be scared of, right? Based on conditioning, based on other people projecting their fears onto you, based on their own experiences or unhealed traumas, things like that. So Aries, we're going to find out today for you guys what fears is this new moon solar eclipse bringing up to the surface for you to identify, work through, and release. Okay, so we're going to find out what those are, or what is at least one of them that is, you know, really playing a part in your life at this time. What is creating challenges? What type of challenges is that fear creating for you? And what is at least one way that you can work through it? Okay, and then we're going to get some advice close out with some advice from your ancestors. Okay, so I am shuffling the secondary deck that I'm going to clarify what I already have laid out here with the first set of tarot, the first tarot deck that I used. So let's get into this for you guys. Okay, so starting off, so we have the Temple Path that came in reverse. Okay, card number 12. Some of you may be a life path number 12. We also have travel, and we also have the Princess of Cups. Okay, so a fear here for some of you Aries is, this feels like having to do with your comfort zone. Okay, some of you, there's a fear of, it feels like, I'm getting two messages here. One of them has to do with your optimism when it comes to your spiritual path. Some of you don't really feel or don't see how you can maybe make a living, or how you can make it, so to speak, like thrive by pursuing your spiritual path. And so for some of you, it feels like it has to do with, because deceit is at the bottom of that deck. So what it feels like is, for some of you, okay, some of you are locked into some type of contract that has been, and this could be a previous, like an experience that some of you have already lived out, like something you've already experienced to where you're scared it's going to happen again. Okay, for some of you, that's something to release right there in itself. It's either something you've experienced firsthand or something you've watched someone else go through, and you're scared that it'll happen to you too. Okay, please take it how as it applies. It's not going to be for all of you, but some of you, there's this fear here of being duped is what I'm getting. Some of you have this fear of pursuing, maybe going down your spiritual path. For some of you, it's like you've been derailed. Others of you, you just haven't pursued it at all because of this false notion that you're going to get steered the wrong way, or it's not, as, you know, that it's not what it seems, that it's all the trends and stuff like that. For some of you is throwing you off in some type of way. Okay, where it's scaring you, where it's making you feel like it's not going to work, or it's, you know, it's like some of you, it's like it's blocking your that sense of wonder, the curiosity that some of you are being guided to have, or have once at some point had. It's like this fear of, like I said, of being deceived, of being, for some of you, it's about being wrong. Okay. But there's this energy here of needing to step outside of your comfort zone. Some of you, that's part of the fear in itself, is doing something that is uncomfortable, doing something different. And that's what some of you are being asked to face at this time, to instead of looking at what makes you uncomfortable, whether it's traveling. Some of you have a fear of traveling. Some of you have a fear of simply just going outside of your state, outside of your country. You know, whatever that fear is for you, you're being asked to explore it. And instead of exploring it from a place of, I have to do this, explore from a place of, I want to see what else is there. I want to get curious about it, right? So I want to read the reversal meaning for you guys, just for those of you that this applies, you have a little bit better understanding. The temple path in reverse is a sign that you may have fallen off your path. You could be too focused on worldly possessions and material gain, or you may simply be maintaining old, unhealthy habits of fear, limitation, worry, or doubt. And that's why I wanted to read this, because that's exactly what this reading is about, right? Our fears. That's something that's coming up right now for a lot of people, and that's why I feel like it's so important, because it's this time on this planet is so pivotal and is so important for us to really step into our power, step into our truth, reclaim our sovereignty. And we won't do that if we're scared of what's on the other side of that, right? So that's why a lot of why I was guided to do this reading. So yeah, it may simply be maintaining old unhealthy habits of fear, limitation, worry, or doubt. Whatever it is distracting you, receiving this card is a firm message that it is time to make your spiritual life and evolution a much higher priority. Not doing so represents an important loss of power. So clear your mind, meditate, open up to the presence of spirit. Whatever else is going that you may have going on, consider this an important part of your personal and tactical plans. Not turning to them, the support you have, the support and inspiration of all eternity and countless loving spirits are available to you. Not turning to them is like cursing the dark when you refuse to turn the lights on. See what I'm saying? So it's like refusing to, being upset that it's dark, but knowing that you can flip the light on and it fix all of it, right? So some of you, that's what this has to do with. And so, like I said, some of you, this is reclaiming, maybe something happened as you were a kid and it kind of got you scared for the, like ever since then type of thing. So there's an energy here of, needing to let that go. For some of you, it was something that was deceptive. It was something that maybe you didn't see. Okay. Something that you couldn't see maybe at the time that has maybe rocked your confidence in some type of way. Okay. For some of you, this has to do with an attachment, something that is still holding on to you. Okay. Whether that's an energy, an entity, whether it's, like just a limiting belief. Okay. Whatever that is for you, it's something that you're still holding on to that's preventing you from really stepping outside of your comfort zone, knowing that you're protected in doing so. Okay. Because that's kind of what this travel card has to do with, is doing something different, doing something, maybe something that you're needing to go out alone. And some of you have a fear of doing that, a fear of, well, what if I do this by myself and something happens, right? This is where you're being asked to get curious, and focus more on being optimistic than scared, right? So let's clarify that energy. Clarify the Princess of Cups. Why is it here for Aries in regards to this fear that they're being asked to work through, acknowledge, work through, and release? Clarify the Princess of Cups. And I'm using a different deck just so that way, in the event that certain cards need to repeat themselves, if Spirit says that that's a stronger message, then it has the ability to do that. So we have the Prince of Swords, which is the Knight of Swords that came out in reverse, and the Nine of Swords. So for some of you, it's like this energy of feeling like you have to rush. Okay. Some of you, this is a lack of confidence, like I was just talking about. Some of you are lacking the confidence that if you do this thing, that it'll work out in your favor. That if I go this place, or if I do this thing, that I'll be okay. That nothing's going to happen. Some of you, there's this underlying fear there, this anxiety that some of you are holding on to. It's like, it's giving me a needless worry. Okay. It's that next step after the Eight of Swords. And it's funny that I say that, because the Eight of Swords here is at the bottom of the tarot deck that I'm using, that I started with. Okay. So for some of you, it's like your own self-imposed prison. It's letting your own thoughts essentially run the show here. And that's where some of you are needing to get that in check. It's like, and that could be for some of you is exactly what's deceiving you. Okay. It's the fear of what you can't see. Okay, it's the fear of what is behind, you know, what is being hidden from you that you're not looking at, right? But that's your own, I feel like for some of your own self-deception. It's not that anything's hidden, it's just what you're not refusing, something you're refusing to look at, okay? Or maybe just the way you're seeing something is distorted, it's skewed in some type of way, okay? So, perspective is everything. It really is. So, let's see. So, as we get into the next part of this, which is the next question, is what is challenging? What is this fear? What challenges is it creating for you guys? So we have compassion in reverse. We have fertility. And then we have telephone and map, which is a 2 and a 3. And one of these are Aries. The 3 is the Aries. The map card is the Aries. Cancer is the second one. So some of you, there could be an Aries or a Cancer energy is specific, like important, or that, you know, is playing a pivotal role in this. So for some of you, this has to do with the mother figure. That could be what this is about, is a mother figure with this fertility card. It could be a person in your life that maybe that lacked compassion for you, or lacked compassion in some type of way, and it feels like it's due to the compassion that maybe their parents didn't have for them. And this is kind of like what I was getting for the collective reading, is that, you know, our parents, when they didn't have certain things for us, it's because they didn't have it for themselves. If they weren't taught, like my mom, she operated heavily in her masculine energy my whole life. She still does to this day. Okay. And I've been essentially over the years teaching her how to be more in her feminine energy, how to be more open and receptive and loving and compassionate and nurturing, right? Where she didn't know how to do that because that wasn't how she was raised. Even though she had both parents, that's just not a trait she was taught, period. So she can have that for me growing up, right? And so for some of you, you're dealing with this could be a feminine energy here that is essentially creating challenges in this, or essentially it's making it kind of challenging for some of you to release this, because this is an energy that some of you are still resonating with. Someone that maybe didn't have compassion for you, therefore you're finding it difficult to have compassion for yourself. And that's where where we essentially again have to take our power back, where it doesn't mean that, and some of us have taken that on, where it's like, well, they didn't have compassion for me, so they must not care. That's not true. That doesn't make it true. They just can't teach you what they never learned. That's just the same thing about saying like, well, if they can't teach me how to swim, then they must want me to drown. No, they just can't teach you how to swim because they've never been in the pool. They don't know, right? It's kind of like that. That's the best analogy I could give you right there with that. So I hope that it makes sense. So yeah, for some of you, this is about communicating. Okay. Some of you, a simple conversation can be had. And some of you, this is a conversation that maybe you're not wanting to take, that you're not wanting to have. Some of you have a lot of built up anxiety, a lot of built up, for some of you, I'm hearing animosity, resentment could also be playing a very pivotal part in this. But some of you, that you can get past this, you can move beyond this by communicating, okay? By exercising your throat chakra, expressing yourself. Some of you, your throat chakra got shut down at a very young age. Mine did as well. And so for even me doing this and showing up like this and expressing myself in this way is very, it's still something I'm adjusting to. Even though I've been doing it now for a few years, it's still taking me time to get comfortable and not care what people say, not care if people don't watch, not care if people, you know, unsubscribe for me honoring my body, right, for a few days, like stuff like that. It's like I'm also teaching myself how to not care about stuff like that. And I feel like some of you are being guided to do the same. Okay. It's like some of you, look, new perspective. Exactly. It's like some of you are being asked to shift your perspective about the way something played out, and realize that had it happened any differently, you wouldn't know the things you know now. You wouldn't have learned the things you learned. You wouldn't have, it's like you wouldn't be shaped into the person you are now that is uniquely you, that nobody else could be like you, because they haven't had your experiences, nor have they had the level of perspective and see things through the lens that you've seen them through. Okay. But now you're being presented or given an opportunity to shift your perspective, to restore balance. Okay. And so for some of you, this person may be trying to reach out. Maybe you're guided to reach out to them. Some of you, this person has been reaching out to you, and some of you are ignoring it. You don't want anything to do with it, but you're being asked here. Again, it's being presented. Some of you are being presented an opportunity to shift your perspective. Maybe to give where somebody couldn't give you compassion. Maybe that's an opportunity for you, because you now know, you understand what the lesson needed to be, what the lesson is in the situation, why it happened the way it did. You're able to now give that. You can choose to have compassion. Compassion doesn't give people an excuse. It doesn't give them a pass, but it's just an understanding and acceptance of where people are, the level of consciousness they had, you know, knowing that our parents and, you know, a lot of, like, all of us, whether they're parents or not, all of us are doing the best we can with where we're at, with what we know, with, you know, the traumas that we're holding on to, all those things. It's like, literally, even if it doesn't feel like that, even if it feels like people are doing shit on purpose, which sometimes they are, but you have to understand the level of awareness that they're operating from. Okay. And that's where you can learn, because you're able to see it like that and be like, you know what, this person acts like that because they're holding so much fucking pain. I'm gonna give you an example real fast. So for me, for example, I always like to use myself as a person example, just because I don't want to out nobody and let you know I'm human too, right? So like for my mom, she is a very, very, very judgmental person. And it's teaching me to have so much more grace and compassion for her as best I can, okay? Because it's a mirror. If someone is spewing so much judgment, it's like you can only imagine how much judgment that they're giving to themselves. And that's where I have to be like, damn, like you really don't love yourself. You really don't honor yourself at all. The fact that you have to be so judgmental on other people. I can only imagine the way you talk to yourself. Like, goddamn, you know, so I feel like some of you are being asked to look at things in that way. Okay. I feel like this too has distorted the way you see yourself. Like it's not the way you see yourself. That could be that. It could be that too. But I'm more so getting listening to yourself, listening to your higher self, the inner voice that's talking to you, that's letting you know, that's, you know, trying to help you. I feel like some of you, this has definitely played a part with the way you talk to yourself, the way you respond, how you listen to how you're able to hear your own inner guidance, instructing you and guiding you. Okay. I feel like some of you, because of whatever this person is that some of you are dealing with or have dealt with, it's made it where you have a hard time having compassion and love for yourself. And that's, again, an opportunity for you to look at, you know, what scares me in doing that. What am I still holding on to that makes it where I can't give myself grace when I need it, right? Especially when others won't, when others can't. Where can I give that to myself, and why won't I do it? What scares me so much in doing that? You see what I'm saying? Some of you are being given an opportunity to identify that, to address, you know, why you're so hard on yourself. Some of you are really hard on yourself. And that could have to do with a feminine energy that some of you grew up with that is still in your life, whether they're transitioned or not, but that energy is still present, okay? Because it's all energy. So for some of you, this is the energy where somebody lacked compassion for you. And it's because they didn't learn how to have it for themselves. They couldn't have it for you. So it's not, again, it's not because you weren't worthy of it, you weren't deserving of it. It was because they just simply couldn't give you what they didn't have for themselves first. Okay. So clarifying the energy is the Eight of Wands. So for some of you, this is this is presenting a challenge. This challenge is about moving forward. Okay. About moving on for some of you, kind of like what this card is talking about exploration, finding your own way, new territory, directions, figuring it out. Some of you, that's what this is about, is that if I leave this behind, the way ahead, it looks different. Am I ready? I feel like you are. You just have to believe in yourself. You have to trust yourself. Okay. So let's see. Let's clarify. What is this Eight of Wands? Why is it here for Aries in regards to this challenge? Ooh, Emperor. Your own energy, Aries. I just realized that. Like, ding. I was like, okay. Some of you, this is a father figure. Okay. But others of you, this is about, you know, there's a fear here of, you know, well, if I do this thing, if I go my own way, I feel like it's like you guys are scared of your own power. And this is kind of what I was getting with the collective message as well. That some of you are scared of your own power. You're scared of your own success. You're scared of it actually working. But I feel like it's more so not scared of it actually working, but scared of, or a fear of maintaining it. Can I, when I get it though, can I keep it? Some of you have a fear of being able to maintain your success, to be able to get back on your throne, but actually stay there. Okay. And that's something that you're needing to release. That's a fear that some of you have that you need to release. And it's about, you know, when you learn the lesson though, when you give yourself grace and you learn what certain experiences were trying to teach you, you won't have to worry about that happening. You see what I'm saying? Some of you, that could be what that compassion card is about. That some of you, there's this, you know, this energy of things that you want to build. The fertility could also be about things that you want to create, okay? Things that, you know, that left your life that didn't work out, and it was because you maybe weren't in a place to maintain it. But when you learn and understand, well, why was I able to maintain it? Why, you know, what happened that, you know, put me in a position to lose it in the first place, right? And when you learn the lesson and what that was trying to teach you, when you genuinely learn it, going forward, you don't have to worry about repeating the lesson. That's just like when you go through high school, right? When you know you passed a grade and they tell you, okay, you're going on to the next grade, you know you don't have to repeat that grade again because you learned everything you're supposed to learn in it, right? So this is the same thing. So I feel like some of you, this is about things not only progressing and moving forward, but I feel like it like happening at a very fast rate. It's like you have to know that you're prepared. You have to know that however this plays out, you're ready for it. And this is about not letting your ego, okay? I feel like for some of you, this deceit card is also representative of your own ego, not your shadow, your ego. They are different, okay? Your ego is that part of you that is created that tries to protect you, okay? That is created from our wounds, our traumas, and negative experiences. That part of us that wants to keep us safe. That is your ego, okay? And so for some of you, it's like when you learn what certain experiences were trying to teach you, you don't have to worry about repeating them again, okay? So what is one way that you can move beyond this, okay? We have 3 cards that came out for you guys. So first card came out was Milk and Honey, okay? Then we have Yang, which is masculine energy. And then we have Mending, okay? So 51, 1, and 52. Interesting. So these ages may be of significance. They may be life path numbers for some of you. So what this is giving me though, and this is followed by the Yacht. Card number 5, changes, okay? And it's interesting how the 2 and the 3 reduces to a 5. Here's another 5, okay? So great ease, luxury, prosperity, over the top, extravagant. Some of you, this is about stepping into your masculine energy and knowing that everything that you are going towards is what you've earned. This is preparing, knowing that you'll be taken care of, that all your needs will be met, okay? Some of you, if there's a father figure in your life or someone, maybe even a feminine energy, that you're feeling like you would benefit from forgiving them. It's not, like I said, when you forgive people, it's never for them, it's for you. But most importantly, when you forgive someone, it's never indicative of making whatever they've done okay. It doesn't give them a pass at all. Nor does it make it where you have to keep them in your life. But it's simply acknowledging and accepting what has happened, what has taken place, and allowing yourself to free that energy from holding you back and holding you down. Okay, that's what that does. It clears that energetic space for you to allow in the things that you've been wanting, which for some of you is a life of luxury, a life of abundance, a life of joy, and, you know, the fruits of your labor, being able to live a life of comfort and luxury and ease. Okay, so clarifying that is the devil. Okay, that's kind of what both these cards are for me. Okay, so for some of you, this is your own, and that's what this, you know, that's essentially what the devil represents here. Prosperity, like, you know, materialism, all the 3D things, okay? But this also represents fears, codependency, addictions, okay? This could be addictions to money, addictions to, you know, sex, addictions to alcohol, drugs, whatever that is, addictions to negative thinking, okay? Fears, limitations, all of those things encompassing. That is what the ego is, the devil. That's the ego. That is what this is, okay? So for some of you, this is about facing your ego head on, okay? Finding that balance between, if that makes sense, at the bottom of this deck that I use, balance, okay? So for some of you, this is finding the balance between your spiritual side and your practical side, okay? Meaning having a budget. If you know you're coming into a lot of money, and you're coming into a lot of success, great news, okay? Some of you are afraid of your own power of success, okay? Having too much and maybe doing the wrong thing with it. If you maintain balance, you won't have to worry about that, okay? It's like you deserve this, Aries. You deserve all the luxury and abundance that's coming towards you. You have to be confident in it, that you'll be able to take care of yourself, though, that you'll be able to thrive, okay, with this. Some of you, this is like you're fully capable of whatever, of having the autonomy that some of you are looking for, that you want. But it's about, again, facing your fears head on, the fears that make you feel, you know, stuck or trapped, or, you know, like, I'll lose it. I can't hold on to it. I'll, you know, that it'll be short-lived, whatever that is. Okay. And if you allow yourself to not become codependent on it, you won't have to worry about it. That's why the inner work is so important, because when you know that that if I'm, you know, magical, right? If I'm a co-creator of my reality, it doesn't matter if I lose anything, because I can recreate it anyways, right? So when you approach life from that standpoint, that's power. That's where your power lies, is knowing that nothing is ever a loss. Okay? Nothing is ever a loss, because anything that leaves my life, I can always attract bigger or better, right? I can always do it again. If I made $1 million once, I can make it again, right? So I feel like some of you need that reminder, okay? That you don't need to be scared of your success or losing it, because if you created it once, you can always do it again, okay? You're fully capable. 3 of Cups. It didn't come out, but let's see. I didn't even ask anything yet, so let's clarify. What is one way that Aries can overcome their fears here? What is at least one way? Clarify the devil for Aries, please. Prince of Wands. So this is the Knight of Wands. So this is taking action on what you're passionate about. It's getting excited, okay? It's doing that damn thing. Like I was saying, overcoming your fears, facing your fears head on, okay? Facing your ego head on. Don't run from it. Don't shy away from it. Face that shit head on. Okay, let's get one more. And like I said, we'll close out with some advice from your ancestors, your benevolent ancestors, meaning the ancestors that are here for your highest and greatest good. Those that are here to help you, support you, cheer you on, all those things. Okay. Beautiful. So 4 of Swords came out, as well as the Chariot. Okay, so this is about resting, healing. Okay, 4 of Swords is healing. It's about meditating. It's about going within, taking some time, healing from your wounds, healing from your traumas, letting go of the things that hurt you, okay, and getting in alignment. That Chariot speaks of alignment. Most decks, when they have the two, however they depict the light and the dark, they don't have reins on them typically, because they're on the same page. That means they are both clear about what the goal is, what they're moving towards, so they don't need to restrain them in any way. There's no need, because they're on the same page. They know exactly what the plan is, what the goal is, and they're both in sync. So this is about, again, balance, okay? Balance, restoring balance between your higher self and your lower self, okay? Your light and your shadow. It's about restoring balance, and you do that through healing. You do that through releasing, you know, all the pain or the anguish, whatever, you know, that some of you are holding on to, this anxiety for some of you, the lack of confidence, whatever that is, okay? It's about restoring balance by healing that. And that's how you come on the other side victoriously and in alignment, able to move forward, okay? So let's get some advice from your benevolent ancestors. And then I'm also going to timeline card for you guys too. I forgot about that one. Let me not forget about that. So if you want in advance, you can get a little head start on whatever question you might want a timeline for, time frame. Okay. All right. So what is some advice for Aries from their benevolent ancestors? Advice for Aries. What do we got? Soul retrieval, middle world. 29. 29 reduces to 11. So for some of you, this solar eclipse is going to open up, obviously, I feel like a lot of us know that anyway, it's going to open up a portal, especially with CERN doing their bullshit. But this is an opportunity, it feels like, Aries, for you guys to essentially call back parts of your soul, okay? Call back your power. No matter how big or small, whatever has gotten away, declare, decree verbally. Even if you want to write it down, you can, however you want to go about it. But call all of your power back from every experience, every entity, every you know, whatever it is, call it back from all those things, and may it come back cleansed, purified, whole, complete, and amplified. Okay, call all of the power back from every contract, every timeline, every dimension, every realm. Okay, this is about calling your soul, calling your soul all of the fragments, because every time you get hurt, it essentially breaks a part off of you. It kind of like takes a piece of you. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's why people feel like when they go through certain experiences, they feel like it took a piece of them, right? Because it really does. It breaks parts. It breaks away parts of your soul. So this is about, your ancestors are telling you, call all of your parts of your soul back to you. Okay, call all the lost fragments that have essentially broken off of you through every experience that you've had. Call it back to you. Say, I'm calling you home. Come back home, and come back complete, whole, replenished, purified, detoxified. Okay? So, let's get a time frame. So if you haven't yet, you can pause the video or think of your question, whatever you would like a time frame about when something might happen. Okay? Remember, these are not guarantees. Okay? But it does give you something to put your focus towards, for you to essentially claim and, you know, co-create with. All right, that's why I do it. So for Aries, there's a time frame for Aries before the next full moon. Okay, so I'm gonna pull one more for Aries. So before the next full moon and before the year ends. Okay, so that's definitely better than the collective one. At the bottom we have within 3 days. So, I mean, depending on where your level, how aligned you are, because the thing is, you have to understand, when it comes to manifestations, it's not about time. It's not about time in a linear sense. It's about alignment. How well are you vibrating on the frequency of what you're asking for? That's where the balance is necessary. Okay? So it's like you can literally have whatever you want as long as you're in alignment. Okay? When you get your head and heart on the same page, your light and your shadow on the same page, right? That's when you're full alignment for everything you're asking for. And that's when it happens quickly. Okay? So, before the year ends, before the next full moon. That's when, at least for most of you. Obviously, it could happen before then, right? Within 3 days, right? It depends on your level of alignment, though. Okay? So, Aries, that's what I have for you. I pray this reading brought you some type of clarity. It helped you in whatever way you might have needed at this time. Okay? Again, happy birthday. Happy solar return. To all of those celebrating. All right? Again, happy new year. Happy real, true new year. And may everything that you want, that you desire, that you've been putting time, energy, effort towards, may it thrive, may it prosper, may it grow to its highest possible capacity. All right? I love y'all so much. Until next time. Howdy.